Finally got some time to work on my main solar system. Get rid of these messy booster cables going around to this inverter. Wire that inverter up properly. And then I might put a couple bus bars in the back to go to different things. And yeah, just tidying up and finishing up everything here. I'm going to open that whole board. It's on hinges on that side, so I can open it up and work on the back of it. This is with my swiveling piece of plywood, and this is the back. So now I can work on everything. As you can see, it opens and closes real nice and easy. I love it like this, and when I close it, it sits on this lip, so it takes the weight off the hinges. But yeah, I like working on it like this, and now I'm going to put some bus bars back here. So continuing working on this, I got 2 bus bars in the back. I got to put a few more screws in it to keep it straight. It's twisting a little, but so this bus bar is going to this inverter. I'm going to have my 2 main positive negative coming in at the bottom, just because it's closer to the batteries. I'm only going to run 2 gauge. I won't be taking anything more. The biggest power draw will be this inverter. Everything else will just be small things, and if I decide to pull more current, what I'll do is I'll put either another set of 2 gauge booster cables to my main battery bank, going to another spot to evenly draw off these batteries. Another thing I want to get, I'm going to buy some washers. These are just screws right now. I went out and got the screws, but I forgot the washers, so I get everything in spot. Then I'm gonna put washers on everything. And yeah, there's a bunch of rewiring I gotta do. Mess right now. I'm gonna wrap tie everything and hopefully get everything all nice and tidy. Well, I've been at this for a few hours now. This is a lot of work. So at the back we got a few bus bars. That's a 12-volt bus bar, just for knickknacks mostly. The biggest thing that'll be on it is this 1000-watt inverter. And then we got these smaller bus bars right here. They're all screwed to the plywood with a space in between. I have 3 strings of panels. So what I'm doing here is I got, these are all my positives. So this is the charge controller positive sides, and this is the panel positive sides. What I gotta do is I gotta separate them with a switch on each one so that I can use my grid tie inverter. So what I want to do is be able to switch these switches between these 2 switches, because what I have right now wired is 1 string of panels goes directly into this, and then if I flip this one on, that'll be 2 strings of panels, and I flip this one on, there'll be 3 strings of panels going into this inverter. And when I have them off, then all 3 strings of panels will be separate for these charge controllers. So I want this string of panels to be separate from this one and from this one, so that if there's any cloud edge effects and one gives out, the other ones won't fry or anything like that. So that's what I'm working on, which takes quite a bit of time, because I'm constantly adding these ring terminals. That's what it is. And I've been adding so many. Like I added these 2, added these 4, added these 2 here. I put those 2 ring terminals on, those 2 ring terminals on, ring terminal, ring terminal, ring terminal, ring terminal. Like I've put so many on. They're all soldered. I'm not crimping them. I like solder joints a lot better. They hold, at least from my experience, they hold a lot better. So they're all solder jointed in. And it just takes a long time. A lot of work, but it's looking a lot nicer. Like I have a lot less wires. Like this wire, I just plugged this into itself out of the way, so this one won't be here. This inverter wire, I can figure out a way to get this away from up here I got my solar breakers wired in as well. Did a bunch of wiring in here. I didn't show it just because I'm trying to get this all done today. It's hard to video and get everything done at the same time, especially when you're in a rush, so I was unable to video everything. There's no solar coming in yet right now on any of these panels because I have yet to wire the switches in between these two bus bars. So this is the positive solar side, this is the positive charge controller side. So I need a switch between this one, a switch, and a switch. By switch I mean a breakered switch, breakered switch, just so I can have everything nice and safe and breakered. This little breaker here is for this 12 volt grid tie. When I'm running this off my batteries, it puts about 80 to 100 watts into my house, like 24/7, which is awesome. It helps with like phantom loads and stuff like that. I really like this inverter just for that. I can't use that one for that because that's a 24 volt inverter. But anyways, yeah, all kinds of work. I got my EV electric vehicle battery hooked up to this inverter, running my bar fridge for now because I'm unable to plug it into my solar system. So that's what I'm doing with that. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these updates. I'll keep posting them as I go. Alright, so one thing I'm going to share that I've found with these charge controllers is in my breaker box I bound all the negatives together because it's just the way I thought you did things. You bound all the negatives together. But now with these charge controllers, they like you to bind the positives together, which kind of screws things up a little bit for me. I got to rewire a few things because when you bind all the negatives together, even though you have a breaker for each one, because the negatives are all the same on the batteries, all the negatives go to the battery. If I leave one breaker on this inverter, all three inverters stay on. So pretty much they're all sharing current is what they're doing, which I don't want. I want a completely separate system. So the positives are the separate, completely separate from the rest, isolated side, and the negatives are all joined. So the way I have it now is they are sharing current, and it's no good. And yeah, so it's not acting the way I want it to. So I got to change things. Hope this helps somebody. Alright, I give up. That's it for tonight. It's getting dark. Not dark yet, but it's getting there. This is what I got done today. That wire's just connected to itself to stay out of the way. I got these two switches. They're breakers. They're not really breakers. They're too cheap to be breakers, so I use them as just switches. They're hooked up. If I run this grid tie, it is only being run off of two strings. The third string, which is this charge controller, is not connected because I do not have another switch for it or a breaker. What else here? Everything's hooked up. Even the Victron energy monitors hooked up. Charge controllers are all hooked up. Let's see the power output here. It's almost completely dark. I got my breakers all hooked up. These are breakered off. This one is only breakered on the which side is it? I think the solar side is breakered. The battery side is not. These ones are both. This is hooked up through the bus bar on the back. It's got fuses internal, and I have a main breaker on the back, or not a breaker, a main fuse. turn on, turns on, no problem. This is hooked up to the same bus bar as this one. It will turn on, as you can see. And the back. A mess. It's still a mess. Wasn't able to get done tonight, but I got a lot of it done, and it's good. I have the Victron energy monitor sitting here now instead of inside the Midnight breaker box, because what I had to do, I found out the hard way that these charge controllers do not like all the negatives combined. So if that negative, that negative, and that negative all together were combined, they don't work properly. You cannot fuse these properly. You can only fuse them properly if the positives are combined, and the negatives, all three of these, all the negatives were separate. So that's how these work. I didn't know that. Obviously I didn't read the manual. I don't even know if the manual would have told me that, but I found it out the hard way. So I just pretty much rewired everything. I didn't rewire, but I swapped everything. So now this positive is now a black negative wire. Same with this one. On the battery side, sorry. Just the battery side, the negative and positives are swapped. I'm in the middle of taping them, color coding them. I don't have any red tape, but I've been taping them with black tape. The only spots I haven't gotten to is the charge controllers here. At the batteries, I got them all. But yeah, I got some good progress today. System's all up and running. I can run this if I feel like it off of most of my solar. I don't usually run this unless I'm running, like I am right now currently, 2 window air conditioners, which this won't quite provide for. It'll be close, but I don't like backfeeding into the grid at all. I want to just feed my house because I don't get paid for it, so I might as well not do it. Yeah, so batteries are doing well. Just got some cleanup to do, all my mess from working on the batteries and stuff. I haven't used my Antrax SW3000 in a little bit, just because this has been working so well for the window air conditioners that I just haven't felt a need for it right now. Might as well use that. That cost me $100, and this one cost me $1,600, and that was extremely cheap because most of these now are $3,200. So yeah, just gonna use it like this for a bit more, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, it helps a lot, guys. Well, there you go. I got it closed up again. That's it for tonight. The bar fridge hooked up to the inverter. Got to plug in this extension cord again. This goes to my window air conditioner. So this saves me money. That runs one air conditioner on the main floor. I have another inverter I could put beside once I get more solar panels, or I'll just run the Antrax all the time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but this is it. This is what I got so far. And that's right, I forgot to mention that I did have this temporary circuit breaker on this charge controller. That's a 60 amp break, actually 63 amps break on that one. These Midnight Solar are 68 amp breaks, I believe. That's a 63 amp break, so that'll break a little before Midnight's do, but that's okay. So I have one 250 watt panel with a 63 amp break on it, and then these two I have, this one I have, or one of these, I can't remember right now, 500 watts of solar. The other one I have 750 watts of solar, and they both have the Midnight Solar at 68 amp breakers. I think they're rated at 60 amps, but they say breaking amps is at 68. I got everything hooked up again, so I can see what's going on. That says 100% because I reset the system. Every time we reset it, it goes to 100%. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm at percentage-wise. I'm at 12.7 volts. These batteries, as soon as you put a load on them, about an hour or two after the sun goes down, they go to about 12.8, and they're at 12.7, so I'd say we're about 95% charged. And that's it for tonight. I'm done. My cell phone battery's going dead, and I'm going to bed. I put some tape on both sides of this Victron battery monitor, just so any fumes, even though these are sealed, because these do gas sometimes. When they get hot enough, they will gas. So I just put that around it, even though it could get some from batteries of both sides, but I'm just hoping this will make it last a little bit longer anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, helps a lot.